In chapter 5, you talk about powerful ways that organizations can harness Gen AI that highlight the potential for human collaboration with AI as opposed to replacement. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, so I get this question asked all the time. What will this mean for jobs in the future? And I think about this a lot. I have three children, and I've got three children between the ages of 12 and 18, and I worry about what it might mean for them in the future. And and my hope is that AI will not replace us, but augment us. And what I'm also hoping for is that AI will make us more human instead of less human. Sometimes we position AI as men versus machine, and I completely understand why, because it sells papers and magazines, and people click on articles that say, "Okay, AI is coming for your job," and but my hope is, in practice, that it will augment our jobs. And I have actually written an entire book on future skills because I get this question asked all the time. What skills will we need? How do we compete with machines in the future? And out of 20 skills I talk about in the book, three are technical skills. So I need to have some technical understanding and understand the capabilities of all of these technologies we've touched on. I need to have some data literacy to some extent. I need to understand some cyber threats that are coming along. Beyond that, most of the rest of the skills are the ones that make us truly human. They are our creative problem solving. They are our interpersonal communication, our complex decision making, our ability to understand whether data is true or not, contextualizing things, all of this stuff that really makes us human. And my hope is that we will outsource some of the things that, in my opinion, we waste our immense human potential on doing. Just a tiny little example. Whenever I write a Forbes article, Forbes ask me to write to basically capitalize every word in every subheadline, and this is very often not how I write. I just write, and then I need to go back into the article and make sure that every word is capitalized. I can now give this to ChatGPT, say, "Hey, please just capitalize this." Takes a second and it's done. And this is for me such a it was a waste of my capabilities, because now I can spend more time being creative, thinking about how do I want to tell my stories. And my hope is that we'll just get more of this. A perfect example is radiologists. So if you're a radiologist in a hospital that analyzes X-ray images or CT scans, um, AI can now do this very well. I remember I took my son to the hospital recently, and we suspect that he broke a bone in his hand. And the doctor came back and said, "Okay, we can see there's a hairline fracture in the middle of your hand, but the AI is also suggesting that you might have broken your finger as well." And so she was saying, "We can't actually see this with our eyes, but the AI usually is right." So the AI now is able to do these. And for me, we come to biases, and we talked about biases. Humans also have huge biases. So if you are a radiologist and someone has come in for a potentially broken back and they've been through a CT scan, our bias is that we will only look at the broken bone and look at have they potentially broken their back. But because the CT scans the entire body, there might be secondary or tertiary diagnoses that might be relevant as well, that we as humans would never look for. The AI can do this. So we are now at a stage where the AI can analyze images and CT scans much more consistently and probably at the same level, if not better, than humans can. So, what does this mean for radiologists? It will change the way they work, because if you think about this, is it really the best use of this amazing human potential that we have, where someone sits in a dark room for 8 hours a day trying to understand, is this bone broken or not? Or would it be better if we spend more time on maybe talking with the patient about what this all means, on doing research to further the field of radiology and make it better? All this exciting stuff. So, my hope is that this is what AI will do. In the short term, I have some concerns about how ready we are as a world to move to that, because there are so many people happily, or very often not happily, working in jobs where they earn a living doing stuff that actually is a waste of their potential, but it's a necessity to earn a living. So this transition will be difficult, and I think it's really important for governments and for businesses to understand that we are seeing this huge transformation, and it means we need to retrain people, we need to augment their jobs, and we need to help them in making this happen.